Welcome back to another review of lchessica for Beyond the Gates, July 31st, 2025. First things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. Let me see what they said. Live commentary. Let me support testament to the specific people you approve. I don't know what they talk about. Hold on. Yeah, first things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode. So I'm gonna just give y'all a little quick summary of what happened, and then we're gonna dive into the review slash recap. Nothing really happened. Nothing too much happened. Once again, it's a continuation of yesterday's episode. They prepping for the concert, trying to invite Smitty and all this other stuff. So, a quick summary. Sharon may or may not be having a panic attack. Look like she freaking out. She ended up telling Tracy and Anita at the end of the episode that she's sorry to let them down and she ran out. I said, at this point, just cancel the doggone concert. I said, just cancel it. Stuff keep popping up. Stuff keep popping up. Just cancel it at this point. But yeah, I said she probably nervous. I don't know, y'all. But yeah, she either having a panic attack or she nervous or something or both. But yeah, Vernon, Terrell, and Nicole all tried to convince Smitty to go to the concert, while Danny tried to convince Martin to go. Andre was at the beginning of the episode looking at both his women, looking at photos of both his women, Danny and Ashley. Danny ends up talking to Andre, saying that, you know, she wants him to be honest about his feelings for Ashley. And because she was, I almost excuse me, I almost forgot that part. Danny wants Andre to be honest about his feelings for Ashley because she was honest about her feelings for Bill. And I've been saying that. How many times I don't say it there, y'all? And Smitty ends up talking to Martin about the concert. But okay, so we're gonna start with Smitty, Vernon, Terrell. They were still trying to convince him to go. Vernon made some comment about, you know, usually back in the day, you know, when he said something, they did whatever he wanted or something like that. And you could tell there's a whole lot of tension between them still. But yeah, he was still trying to convince Vernon. He was still trying to convince Smitty to go. But Nicole was the one that actually got him to say yes, he was gonna go. But yeah, Smitty was like he has to think about going. The Articulates was arguing again. They still arguing. That's why I said cancel the doggone concert. But once again, they already showed them on stage performing, y'all. But yeah, I said they arguing. Sharon, it's always Sharon. It's always Sharon. Sharon done jumped up to us. Basically, Nita hasn't changed. She's still the same person. Don't look like you changed either. Now they need to start telling her about herself. I said, look, she did all that talk. But yeah, they arguing again because Sharon feels like this is classic Anita. So she was like, okay then, why don't we all get a solo? And Tracy ended up being the one to say, you know, Anita's the one that, you know, had the career and stuff like that. So it would be better if she did it. Anita also revealed that she wants to perform her solo because, you know, her family hasn't actually seen her do that. But yeah, what else happened with them? Anita tells Sharon she's not the same woman. She wants to perform solo to impress her family. That's when Sharon ends up saying how she wants all of them to have a solo. What else? What else did she say? Tracy said she don't think they should do a solo. They should leave it to Anita. Let me see what else. But to summarize their scene, they were still practicing and stuff like that. Then I think Tracy notices that Sharon was over there by the window and stuff, and she started like, it looked like she having a panic attack. I could be wrong, but I don't know, y'all. It looked to me like she was having a panic attack. She was just thinking and stuff like that. Anita came in. She was like, what's going on? And Tracy was like, she don't know. So she ran out. She was like, I'm sorry to let y'all down. And she left. She left or whatever. But once again, they showed them all on stage and stuff like that. So whatever it is, they're going to fix it. But yes, at this point, y'all need to cancel the doggone concert. Y'all can't seem to get along. Everybody want to be the doggone leader until it's time to lead. I said, no doggone well. I said, I did a TikTok short, and I was like, now I'm one. I know how my nerves get, so I get it if she nervous. But at the same time, you don't need all that talk. You been talking since you got back. Since she don't called you, you been talking. Now you running out and stuff talking about you can't do it. But yeah, I'm assuming they all gonna get it together soon, y'all. Anita, Sharon, Tracy, we already talked about them. Andre, they showed him at the beginning of the episode. First, he was looking at the photo of Danny. Then he swiped and looked at the photo of Ashley. He just kept going back and forth or whatever. And I said, I don't know. At first, when he was looking at Danny, I was like, I might have been wrong. Looks like he actually want her. But then he started looking at Ashley, and I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know at this point. We just gotta wait to see. What else? Let's see. I don't skip. I said Andre staring at the photos he took of his women. Danny still trying to convince Martin to go. Danny ends up talking to Nicole, and she wanted to come up with a plan to convince Martin to go, and she convinced Smitty to go. We already talked about Sharon. Terrell ends up trying to talk to Jessica, but she really wasn't trying to talk to him because he accused her of not really wanting him and stuff like that. Did y'all see that he was talking about, you know, being adopted and stuff? people are now saying that him and Samantha are actually going to be June's children. Excuse me. Yeah, I seen some people talking about that, about how the two people in the photo is going to be Terrell and Samantha. That's why they keep giving them more airtime, and they talking about, you know, the way they was raised. That's why you see Samantha study talking about, you know, her dad's getting back together and them breaking apart and stuff like that. Now I don't know how true that is, but that's what they saying. Let's see what else. Terrell ends up apologizing to Jessica, but she said, I forgot, what did she say? She said something, then she left, but she didn't really say too much to him. Vernon ends up running into Andre, ends up asking him what his intentions are for Danny, and he gave him a whole lot of nothing. I said, what? He's like, what did he say? He's like, he knows she, I don't know if he said she wanted to be protected or she didn't. Either way it go, he said a whole lot of nothing. He said a whole lot of nothing. But then he popped up at the house, and that's when she ended up having a conversation with him, asking if he came there to ask her father for his hand in marriage. I don't think I said that right. I definitely said that right. Wait a minute. Wait, how you say it? She accused him of coming there to ask Vernon for her hand in marriage. There you go. Hold on, y'all. And she was like, she was just joking or whatever. So that's when they got to talking. And I don't think he ever really said why he was there. But it was something Anita wanted. But then they started having a conversation. She was like, she want to know what his feelings are about Ashley, or for Ashley, because she was honest about her feelings about Bill. I said, I've been saying that. I've been saying that exactly. That, you only make it worse when you lie. You only make it worse when you lie. That's be the whole thing right there. Hold on. Let's see what else. Let's see. I already said Danny convinces Martin to go, but I didn't say how. She ended up telling him it's not about him, that people been walking on eggshells basically around him, scared he gonna break, but tonight's not about him, it's about Anita. He managed to say, or he ended up saying that he would go. Smitty was talking to Nicole, and he was like, he has a problem, first of all, that Martin lied for as long as he did, but also the fact that they got Joey involved. And he said Joey's not the type who not gonna want something. I said, same thing, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I said, he definitely gonna want something. He definitely is. And Nicole was like, you don't know that. I said, that's why they ain't tell you nothing now. I said, that's why they ain't tell you nothing now. You gullible. He definitely gonna want something. He definitely is. And what's that lady name that's messing around with him? Vanessa. She gonna learn the hard way. Watch. But yeah, Smitty finally agrees to go. Terrell ends up talking to Vernon about the secrets they've been keeping. He was saying how him and Samantha think that there's more that they keep from them. Vernon admits there are, but he can't tell him because it's not his place. What else happened? Oh, I had wrote down what's wrong with Sharon, but we already talked about that. It looked like she having a panic attack. Excuse me. I already said Vernon admits there is more to the story. Smitty ends up contacting Martin. He stops by. They end up talking. Smitty asks how would he feel if he went to the concert. He was telling him how it's okay if he go. I think the last thing was Sharon having, I don't want to say a panic. Well, I don't say it now. I don't say it about 3 or 4 times. Looked like she having a panic attack. She walked out. If I'm not mistaken, that was the last scene. If I'm not mistaken, that was it. But yeah, that's it. That's all. What did y'all think of the episode? Let me know down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces.